Nice wee sunny day in Scotland. Me and Gabriel and Eura, who keeps peeing everywhere, are at Knocken Crag. It's a famous locality in Scotland. It's where they kind of, one of the places where they pinpointed the Moine thrust, which is above me. It's the main fault line. So basically above me, which is known as the Moine supergroup or the Moine thrust. Well, it's actually known as something else now, like the Loch Ness supergroup or something like that, because they changed it recently in the new Geology of Scotland book, 5th edition. But basically, above me marks a big massive fault line, which is known as a thrust fault line, right? And a thrust fault is a pretty cool fault line because it's when older rocks are thrust on top of younger ones, and up there you have older rocks thrust on top of younger ones. And it was actually kind of originally discovered in Scotland, and it's evidence that shows that there once upon a time there was mountains here that were higher than the Himalayas. So it's proper madness, right? So on one side of me, this is your Hebridean terrain of Scotland. Like a geological terrain is like a slice of crust, and Scotland's made up of 5 different terrains, right? Your Hebridean, which is the oldest terrain, your Northern Highlands terrain, your Central Highlands terrain or Grampian terrain, your Midland Valley terrain, and your Southern Uplands terrain, right? But Hebridean terrain on this side, see at the top there, that's your Northern Highlands terrain smashing into your Hebridean terrain. And that happened 450 million years ago, right? So it's proper madness. Now, Eura doesn't like these statues. She thinks that they're real people. Well, anytime we've came here before, so let's record her, see what she does. Look, who's that, Eura? Who's that? You going to say hello? Eura? No, you can't go. Eura, who's that? Come see. Who's that? Who are they, Eura? You missed them? Okay, you're no longer afraid of them. Anyway, this is Peach and Horne. Cool wee thing about this place is it actually has like all these boards which shows you and tells you a wee story of like what's happened here. But that's you that I get in with the lovely scenery. So in the first video I forgot to put my mic on. I've just put it on now, so if I sound a little bit dodgy in the first video, the reason is because I didn't put the mic on. Is that some pipe rock? No, it's some granite. So it's mental to think as well that, see the landscape behind me, it's been cut by glaciers. Once upon a time there was glaciers and ice that actually covered this whole landscape, right? It's proper madness. Like between 25,000 years and 11.5 or 10,000 years ago, that was our last ice age. Well, it all melted away between 15 and 10,000 years ago, right? Also, I made a mistake today of forgetting to like put my boots on, so I'm in Converse, so I'll let you know how that goes by the end of this wee walk. But to be honest, the walk isn't too strenuous. It's alright, like, unless you want to go up to the fault line at other areas, but the main path that you follow, the main trail, is not too bad at all. So Eura can smell deer. It's also mad to think that on this side, like, you have like younger rocks, and then right on top of us are older rocks. So on this side, and right kind of underneath my feet right now, you've got like Torridonian sandstones and Cambrian quartzite. Torridonian sandstones, they were laid down by rivers 1.2 billion years ago. That was before complex life existed, right? That was like, back in the day when there was just microbes. No, don't you dare, Eura! No, hen! And that's so proper madness. Now, unfortunately as well, I forgot my gimbal, so I don't know how I'm going to make my phone stand up for this first locality, but we might be able to do it in a way, maybe using my keys. Right, sit down. So I'm at my first locality. Oh, that's my wee thingy, muslin. Eura, come. This is the first locality. It's the first board that you come to, right? Honestly thought like the dog was going to run it at the camera there. This is known as your pipe rock, right? It's actually underneath us. It's not actually here, it's underneath us. And they've got a bit of it here, and you can see on top of it the reason why it's called the pipe rock Looks like little wee pipes, right? There's a bit of it over there as well. And then when you look at it side on, it's little wee burrows that have actually been created by organisms back in the day. Because originally this was a sedimentary rock, sediments laid down on a beach that was probably 150 kilometres long, right? White sands laid down on a beach, right? Proper white sandy beach, like the Bahamas today, okay? And over geological time, that cemented, compacted, turned into rock, sandstone. And in this case, it fused all the quartz crystals together, turning it into a quartzite. That's why it's called the Cambrian quartzite. And also the Cambrian period was, 500 odd million years ago. So that's what that is. It's 500 and, what is it again, 540 or something like that, million years old. Doesn't it actually tell you? That's a bit annoying. Well, Cambrian quartzite is part of the Cambrian quartzite laid down as sediment on a beach back in the day. So as we move our way up, obviously the rocks are getting younger until you hit the top rock, which is older. Turn around, turn around. There we go, look at her, she's stunning, isn't she? There's a Knockan, for anyone that wanted to know. Every now and then I can't be lonely. Look at that view, man. Absolutely stunning. You're leading the way. Now we're going to play a game around the world in 600 million years. Right, Yura. So, take 100 million year steps and follow Scotland as it drifts across the planet. So 600 million years ago, Scotland was at the South Pole. 500 million years ago, Scotland is part of North America. That's a continent known as Laurentia. 400 million years ago, Scotland collides with England, or England collides with us. 300 million years ago, Scotland is near the equator. It's Carboniferous period. 200 million years ago, dinosaurs rule Scotland. 100 million years ago, Scotland is under a shallow sea. Find, as I say, end of the journey. Welcome to Knocken Crag. There's a random ball up there, I don't really know what it is, what it's for. It probably represents something. We're at the next wee stop, which I might have to do a selfie stick at. Now at the next bit, right, and they've actually polished a piece of rock here so that you can see what it's doing. And there's different layers here, like you notice like little different tiny coloured layers. Those are like beds of sand and sandstone and siltstone, right? Not sandstone, sandstone and mudstone, right? And at this period of time, 525 million years ago, Scotland, like in this area, there was like warm, shallow seas, right? And you had the deposition of this fine sediment, okay? And that's what's here today. Now this was originally named fucoid bed, like fucoid is like meaning a type of seaweed of some sort, right? Because they thought that the original structures and stuff, the original things in the beds were pieces of seaweed, but it's not. Yura, come here! It's actually burrows that have been left by worms and little wee organisms back in the day. So, fucoid beds. I think the fucoid beds are part of the Durness limestone. So we'll go up the steps. Hopefully I don't fall. The steps are made of quartzite. Good girl, get the bar. I've made it. Moine frost right there for you. See it? I'm touching it. I'm touching a gap in geological time. Right? Like it's madness because as well there's a thin layer in between here known as a rock type called myelinite. It's a thrust, like it's a fault rock formed by the grinding of rocks, right? You there, watch the phone! You there, move! And that's how they kind of realised back in the day, like they came across this myelinite in the middle, right? You're out of the way. And the myelinite kind of shows like there's something going on here, there's grinding and stuff, action like that's going on here. And this rock on top has been thrust on top of the younger rock at the bottom. And geologists like back in the day would argue like about this because it didn't make sense. You were like, what the fuck? Why is this like this? Why is there older rocks on top of younger ones? See that gap in between these rocks? That's known as the Moine thrust fault. You can learn about it if you come on a geology trip with me, but right now I'll tell you about it anyway. This thrust fault formed during the Caledonian orogeny, which is a big mountain building event that happened 450 odd million years ago, right? It was when Scotland and England met. So we were once upon a time independent from England on a continent known as Laurentia, and England was on Avalonia. And these two continents came together, and you had the closure of the Iapetus Ocean in between the continents, right? And as this happened, it crushed and squeezed and pushed the rocks. It pushed the older rocks on top of younger ones, which is what happened here. That's the Third Ness limestone below me, 500 odd million years ago. This is a Moine supergroup, or now known as the Loch Ness supergroup. That's like up to 1 billion years old in certain places, 870 to 1 billion years old. And you, that's really thirsty. Yeah. Are you thirsty, baby girls? Okay.